Hey everyone, this is Rachel and I'm here for my first layout with my September 2017 Clique Kit. This is made up of Fancy Pants Dream Big and One Canoe 2 Creekside. So I have this one 5x7 photo. I try to mix it up where I'm using one photo and then multiple photos and stuff just to keep things interesting. So, but this particular one I just thought was a very nice photo. It is a picture taken in Florida back in April. My nephew and his best friend went on a mangrove trail kayak trip. So, I actually have another layout I'm going to be doing using this line about that same kayak trip, but the photos are much different than this one. This one is just very, I love this photo. I think it's a beautiful photo. Actually, my nephew's best friend took it rather than my nephew, and he said I could totally scrapbook it. So I was very happy about that. Since it is my nephew's experience, I felt it was okay to do that. My dog has gone insane. I apologize. If you can hear the tap dancing, that is my dog. She's decided to wander. And so I'm going to go ahead, get you on fast forward. I think I'm going to be doing a little bit of mixed media using this Shimmer's Textures texture paste. So there are 3 different texture pastes from Shimmer's. One is the Textures, which has a little grit to it. The other is the Dazzlers, which is really shiny. And then there's the Pasties, which has a matte finish. So I thought with it being outdoorsy and you think about like the dirt and you think about the bark on trees and stuff like that, it would be perfect. It would also, since this picture is of them kayaking through trees, I thought using the specialty paper that came in our kit would work well as well, to reuse a word. Alright, I'm going to go ahead, stop babbling, and get started on the layout. I am going to put you on fast forward. Remember, the volume can change a little. I try to work it, but I am just not very good at that. So I'm going to see if I can figure out something else to do. Alright, folks, we're going to go on fast forward, so see you in a second. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I am going to be using my, as I said, the specialty paper and then some white cardstock. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half, mainly because, well, A, I didn't think I needed the full circle of it, and also because, well, I'm like, maybe I should split it up so I have, you know, another layout I can use it on, which is crazy because I have plenty of paper. Alright, so I have this little arrow stencil, and this actually came from a Scraptastic kit. Scraptastic is was a scrapbooking kit club I used to belong to. They are no longer in business, or they moved over to doing planner things. So as I mentioned in my introduction, I am using this Textures paste, and it's called Textures. Like I said, it has grit in it, and I believe it's called Gold Mine. And that comes from Shimmer's Paints. And I forgot to glue down my paper, and so now I'm trying to do it with this stencil filled with texture paste in my hand, which is oh so comfortable and conducive to actually working. And I was debating with myself, do I want it to go over the thing? And I'm like, you know what, I think I do. So what I do is I make sure just to leave quite a bit of time for it to dry, because I know the gold foil will resist ink and paint and stuff like that. So I just made sure I gave it extra time to dry, and it totally worked. And now I'm going to be doing some mist spattering over it. I don't have any greens in Shimmers, and I wasn't quite sure what was going to look better, so I'm testing out on an extra piece of cardstock that I've cut out and has some marks on one side. So what I have is the Shimmer's Paints Glorious Day, and then my Heidi Swap Gold Color Shine, and then my Heidi Swap Tea Colored Color Shine, and then I have some mists from what I use usually for my card making, which are Distress Sprays, and I have Peeled Paint, Cracked Pistachio, and Twisted Citron, because I wasn't quite sure which green was going to work. And there I'm just showing you them dry, and I decided on Peeled Paint, Glorious Day, and Tea. So those are the three I'm going to go ahead and mist on my page. And so now this is dry, so I'm just going, and in each of the mixed media cluster areas, I'm heavily misting on them. Now, I once again give this extra time to dry, as I am using the mist over the gold foiled tree paper. And now I'm going to take the Peeled Paint ink, and I'm going to use the packaging technique. Now, the majority of this is going to go under my photo, and I'm completely aware of that. It's just easier to get a more natural look if you do it that way, rather than just trying to get it where it's going to show. It just, the way it works for me, it's just definitely more of a natural look to get the edges than it is to not have them. So I take this page, and this is from my Clique Kit. This is from the Fancy Pants Dream Big line, and it just has little geometric shapes on an aqua background, and then the little geometric shapes are a kind of like a mustardy gold and an olivey green. And I'm putting a pretty big mat on it, and then I'm taking this piece of paper, and this is from the Creekside line, and I want to use this dark greenery side, but what I'm doing is I'm cutting apart those two 4x6s and looking at them. The only one I thought I might use is that one that says Adventure Awaits. I am not outdoorsy, and my family and friends in general don't do super outdoorsy things a lot. So while the floral or the leaf pattern is totally fine, now the only thing we do that is outdoorsy would be lakeside or oceanside, and Creekside, which I think is hilarious since it's called Creekside, did not have any lake things except a couple of boats. But there wasn't like a water view, and as part of those 4x6, you know, inspirational thingy-majiggers. So I thought that was kind of funny. I decided to go back and add a little bit more peeled paint in below and above the photo, just to bring in more of that green color. And sorry, I got a little sidetracked with my talk about lack of lakeside outdoor themed items. I forgot to say I was very generous with this green paper, both above and below my photo, as that is where I'm going to put my title. I'm going to be using these Freckled Fond Scripty Puffy Alphas for those that came in my Clique Kit, but they are very white and they are very delicate, so they definitely need a high contrast in order to be seen. I'm going to skip ahead and be finished with my title, which is the Mangrove Tunnel Kayak Tour. I think that's what it was called, the Mangrove Tunnels. So it's out on a lake, and then, so you start off on a lake, and then you go wind your way through where this photo was taken, where it's kind of, you're shadowed, and the trees grow over you, grow over the water portion, and then you can come back out, and there's different pathways you can take. So there isn't going to be any journaling on here because I'm going to be doing the journaling, as I mentioned in my introduction. There is going to be another page. I've actually already created it by the time I did this voiceover. I ended up not using this Clique Kit to do that simply because the colors in the other one do not match. If you want to see that layout, it will be up on my Instagram, which is Oliquig. That's OLIQUIG Scraps. And I'll put a link to that in the description box below here. I didn't end up filming it because it just wasn't, let's just say Apple iOS 11 messed up my filming time quite annoyingly. Anyway, I started adding some die cuts and those epoxy arrow stickers. All of this came in my Clique Kit. I'm also adding this Let's Go flare. I added the boat, I added the little tree cut files, and then I added that fern. All things I just felt worked really well with this. These puffy word stickers that come from Fancy Pants. I decided the go for it would be apropos because they thought this was super fun, but you know, it's a bit nerve-wracking when you're not an experienced kayaker per se. And then I trimmed off one of the tags that came in the die cut pack and used that to kind of fill in that little spot there because it was a little bit gappy for my tastes. I'm just kind of poking through, seeing if there's anything left that I want to add. I do believe I'm almost done here, but I'm going to grab the stickers that came in my Clique Kit. These are filled with little circular stickers and then some word stickers and some flag, star, and heart icon ones. So what I'm going to do is down this right-hand side below that go for it, I just pull out a bunch of these. Now these have like that old-fashioned label maker, like the Dymo font that is, you know, back in the 80s you'd have all the time. And so I add one of each of the colors that came in the kit minus the red. And then I add a couple of the star stickers as well. I'm just adding some bits of glue because I've got a lot of things tucked in the corners and I've got a lot of mixed media going on, but that is going to finish off my layout. So if you could please flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have a great day, everyone. Bye!